Okay, let's pretend I'm working in HR and my boss asked me to create a document and a presentation for new hire explaining what a nonprofit organization is. So I'm going to start from a blank page and I'm going to create a Word document. As you can see on the right side, I have my cheat sheet to be able to prompt faster in this demonstration. So first, I'm going to ask Copilot to help me to draft this. So here's a prompt. So create a guide for new hires explaining what a nonprofit organization is, how it functions, how it's funded, if it depends on the government, what are the rights and duties, and what are the challenges of running a nonprofit organization in the US. So here it's only relying on the what we call semantic index. So it's relying on the information that basically OpenAI gives to Copilot, and it's going to draft what he finds. And so what is a nonprofit? So we can find my different paragraph. How does a nonprofit organization function? How is a nonprofit organization funded? So all the chapters are created. So the important thing is to check, fact check after you prompt to see if the result is making sense, if there's no mistakes. But at least you have a good framework that explains, board of directors stuff. So you have some content, and I will suggest that the longer the content is, the maybe you have more mistakes, so you need to check. But if you have a good content, well structured, and you just have to read over it quickly and review what makes sense or not, and it looks like it's a good thing. So now, if I want to add, yeah, what are the challenges of running a nonprofit organization? Now, if I want to add a section about what are the IT challenges for a nonprofit organization, so I'm going to draft directly here, add another chapter or paragraph, asking another question. And as you can see, you can enter up to 2,000 words. So it's pretty large for a prompt. And also you can reference, I didn't do that here, you can reference documents. If you already have a document that explains a little bit what is a nonprofit organization, you can say, describe what is a nonprofit organization based on this document. So I'm going to keep that. As you can see, the presentation is not the same. So maybe I'm going to add here a section. What are the challenges in IT? Maybe I want to make it the same kind of paragraph. And here, instead of having this list, I'm going to select it, and you'll see there's a feature that can transform a paragraph into a table. So as you can see, there's budget and then an explanation. So I might use this to divide into several columns, and it adds it at the end here because it doesn't want to destroy your content. So if I'm okay with that, I can delete the previous paragraph. So here I just have to select the previous paragraph and just delete it. So that's pretty quick. In a few, not even 2 minutes, I created a document, and now I was able to add a paragraph, format a paragraph, and then now I can see, if I want to see what is the summary of this. So I can use Copilot on the side. I can talk to Copilot. I can say, summarize this document. Did I click on it? Summarize this document. Oh, I can type it. Obviously, it's maybe easier to type it. So and I could have select this pre-canned prompt. But basically, in Word or in PowerPoint, you can ask Copilot to summarize, or you can query whatever. So, for example, if you have a long report, you could ask questions about the report. Summary is the main feature, but you can ask, if you're looking for something, you just ask, what is this? What does this document is talking about this subject? So the query is really whatever you want to ask, like if you were having a conversation with the document. And when you do a query like that, it will give you a reference to where in the document it's talking about this subject. So here I can select, and it will highlight the document, in the document, the paragraph that talks about this subject. So you can really make it even more simple. Summarize this doc in one sentence, which is even more difficult. So there's different ways to prompt. Just query, just ask Copilot what you want to know about this document or what kind of information you're looking for, and we'll tell you what he finds. And so not only it's very useful when you're creating, but also it's very useful when you're just consuming a document and you want to look in the document with natural language prompts, and you can find information in the document rather easily than just having to read all the document or do a search in the document. Here you just prompt in the natural language what you're looking for, and it will give you the reference. So these documents provide an overview of the concept, function, funding, governance, right, duties, and challenges of a nonprofit organization. I think it's a very short and good summary. So now, if I want to, let's say I want to add some data on, or maybe I can do it at the end. Let me let's say financial data. So if I want to add financial data on what is the economy of nonprofit in 2022, since the data are based on OpenAI, and so it's going to be only available for 2021 actually. So here you can see that it stops at 2019. It says, oh, assuming a similar share in 2022. So that's a wrong assumption. So that's why you need to check. So definitely I don't want that. So now I'm going to transition to my chat Copilot. Just need to change tenant. So in Copilot, you have a chat here. And so here, I can ask the same question. I'm going to have the same problem. I want to have data from 2022. We can try it. So it's limited. Here's the difference. Here's the difference is it's going to look in all my folders, all my documents that I have access to. And if he finds a document that is representing this or has this information, it will give it me back. But as you can see, it's still 2019. And there's no, the reference was in the chat. So not sure if it was a good reference. But in Copilot, you have the chat, you have a feature. You can enable plugins. And plugins, it's a feature that allows you to extend where Copilot can search. So there's a default plugin, which is web content that opens to internet. But you can build your own plugin to open to ServiceNow, to whatever application. Here, I'm going to extend it and to the web. I'm going to ask the same question and see if we have more information. more accurate information. So here we can see that it looks deeper because now it's accessing internet. Oh, something went wrong. That's also a typical prompt back with this error. So be persistent, try again, especially when it tells you try again. It means there was a problem. Um, it looks like I can't chat about this. Let's try a different topic. So let's go again. Let's do a new chat because that's what happened. Um, let's see if the plugin is still on. Yes. So let's open a new prompt chat with a new context so there's no history. So maybe the history, that the fact that it didn't find in the first place, maybe it caused a problem. So don't be afraid. There's sometimes you don't understand why it's reacting like that. So try again, change, go to a new chat to have a new prompt. And here I can see that the information is more recent. So you can see that opening to external access bring more value, and then but it's not in the application by itself. So then I can copy this and put it in the Word document if I want to enhance my document here. And so that's something to know is this place is accessing to everything in your tenant, and if you activate the plugin, it will access to other things in like external data, like here the web. So now in this place, I would like to know. I'm going to create a new chat. I would like to know if I'm in the demo tenant where I put some data, and I put some data related to non-profit customers. So I'm going to ask a question: did we work with a non-profit organization? So it's not our tenant where we have all of our documents, but I just put some data in this demo tenant, and maybe there's a document here or several documents, I don't know, with that kind of data. And so it seems that according to the information I found, so let's see the reference, and let's see that. So it goes to okay, it goes to this document. Not sure what it is, but apparently there's some data talking about. I don't want to show this more in details because I'm not sure if it can be shown. So here the problem is I said did we work? So let's now tell uh, note that when when I say we, it means Planet Technologies Inc. So I give some insight to Copilot. So now when I go to ask question with we, it will understand that we means Planet Technology. So far it doesn't know. And now apparently it's telling me something, service contract with Mercy Corp. So you see, I have more information now telling me that you found a document with Mercy Corp. Uh, and so maybe there's something on the website also talking about this. So let's say, can you find anything on our internet website related to a non-profit organization project? So I orient Copilot since the plugin is enabled to see if maybe there's on Planet Technologies website. Hopefully you'll find it. Is there a reference or something? No, it doesn't find it. Let's try again because it's telling me. Maybe I can try again because actually I know there's a reference. Oh yes, I found this. So if I go there, yeah, actually there's a reference helping a nonprofit community to track grants. So you see, this is very powerful because not only I can have access to documents that are inside my tenant, but also have access to information outside. I just need to orient a little bit because internet is very vast, so they need to understand where to go. Copilot needs to understand where to go. Okay, so now let's move on with my Word document. Um, so let's say I have a satisfying web document. So let me put that here. Just what is important is to put the headers to your paragraphs for the next demonstration because now what I want to do is I have this document. Now I want to create a presentation because remember, my goal is to present that to new hire. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Copilot to create a presentation for new hire based on this document. So I can present or I can leave behind this deck to new hires. So let's see, take some time to open. So here there's going to be a prompt, create a present from file, and it's going to show you the last files you created. If you don't see your file, you just have to grab the URL and paste the URL here. Here I just worked on it, so it's visible. And now Copilot is going to run and create this deck. So you can also create a presentation from scratch if you want to, writing the same kind of prompt I wrote in the Word document. But here I already have a document, so let's create that from the document too. That's very powerful when, for example, you have to present a report and you just say, okay, take this report and inject it in the PowerPoint deck. What I've done, for example, I took some PDF, I opened them in Word, and then I transformed them in PowerPoint. That's a very powerful use case if you have a long report and you want to present them. And you look, it looks good. So it uses Designer to create the design of it, but you could apply your own template. And there's introduction. What is a nonprofit organization? So we find the different paragraphs that were created. So it looks good. Maybe some slides you need some, I don't know. Maybe you need to read that again, check if it didn't make mistakes. And what you see here at the bottom is you see footnotes that have been created automatically they're coming from the Word document. And the first page, it will tell you this presentation was automatically generated from this source. So it can be very useful to figure out how it was built and just to be sure that the information is right. And even it brings the table here directly in the Word document. And I can add whatever slide I want to at the end of maybe I can say add a conclusion slide welcoming new hire. So you can add your own slide, and really you can play with that. There's some limitations. You'll learn what are those limitations when you're playing. I'm sorry I was not able to generate those slides for you. Again, it always surprised me because that's a basic feature I'm asking. So let's say add a slide about one sentence of conclusion, thanking or welcoming the new hires. It's not really bad. So I'll try to, if it doesn't work, I'll try to find another way to prompt. And sometimes the same prompt works. It's just a matter. Here you go. So you created this slide at the end. So you create the slide after the slide that was selected. Welcome new hires. We're excited to have you join the team and look forward to your contribution. So that's what, there's way more you can do, but this is a very, 30 minutes demonstration. That's what I wanted to show. So now, if I want to send an email with these documents, you probably know that perfectly, but you can, from Outlook, you can send the email attaching the different documents. I'm not going to do it, but I just want to show Outlook for that reason. So in Outlook, there's a few features about, so if I see that I've recent documents or recent email, I can summarize them here. As you can see, it's a demo environment. There's not really a lot of email. They're service emails. So I put some emails here. So here, when you select an email, you're going to have a summary by Copilot. So you can, when you're a long thread, it's really beneficial because you can summarize who has said what when in order, so you can catch up on the summary. You can also do that in the chat saying, what are the latest things I missed. So you can, first you have a summary. The second one is you can reply to an email. So here's a summary. You can reply an email. So I'm going to take this one because I discovered that. So I can, if I reply, you'll see it will try to help you with some suggestions. And no interest means, oh, did you get an email? Report spam. It's able to look at the email and say, oh, this might be a spam. So you can see it makes some suggestions. So very useful summary, summarize the email. Also the reply with suggestions. You can customize the answer. But also what you can do is obviously create an email, and you can draft an email. So send or write an email thanking the new hires for their enthusiasm and ask them to review the attached resources, like an example. So you can say, okay, write this email when, in a neutral, you can choose the tone, you can choose the poem, you can choose the length. So here I'm gonna make casual, but I'm gonna change the tone in the draft, right? Super excited tone. So write in a super excited tone, an email thanking the new hires. So let's say if I put 2 new hires, I can generate and it will create the email. But really what you can do is change the tone, give some context, how you want to I don't know why there's attachment resource.pdf. That's a weird thing here. I didn't say attachment resource PDF. You can, totally frame what you want to say to the people. So here I'm going to keep it. I don't need that. But let's imagine now that I want also to add a link to a video. So what is a nonprofit corporation? So I'm going to add this link. Nothing fancy here. But I want to make, I want to summarize this video, to explain, what they're going to see in this video. So instead of having to look at the video, I can ask Copilot, summarize the intent of this video and what people will learn from it. So Copilot can be also applied to web content, and it will be able to summarize a PDF, summarize a video, summarize a page, or query whatever page you want. Okay, so now it's because, let's me switch to my real environment, and let's see if we can find the same video. It's because I'm in a demo environment, so that's not working well because of some credentials conflicts. So here, I'm going to do this exact same thing. I don't want to watch the video. I just want Copilot to help me. So what was my prompt previously? Okay, so I'm going to use the same prompt and you'll see that it should work. Make it one sentence. Oh, I could have asked, I could have prompt, I want to send this video in an email. Can you make one sentence explaining what this video is about and what people are going to learn about it? Something like that. So really, you need to try your own prompt and see what makes sense for you. So video provides an overview of a nonprofit corporation explaining the purpose, structure, tax exempt status, etc. So pretty good. So now I can go back to my email and say, check this video. The video provides, well, yeah, so with the summary. So that's an overview of what you can do. There's more in Copilot. Maybe if we have the time, I can show you a very interesting scenario that I really like is you can, for example, if I go back to my Word document and I want to make a questionnaire about this document just to be sure if people read it, what I can do is I can ask Copilot, can you give me 5 questions to ask the readers of this document to check if they read it. Please give closed questions and open-ended questions. So really, you can ask everything. You can ask Copilot to help you to build a quiz. I have more than 70 videos with different use cases on my YouTube channel showing different use cases, different way to leverage. There's some that are very, very impressive. So here I have my 5 questions. That's great. What is a non-profit organization? What does a non-profit organization function? What are them? So it's a little bit earlier. I don't have really the option to answer, but I can take that and try it to use it in Forms because Forms also has Copilot to help me. Let's go to Forms and let's create a new form. And let's what is a non-profit organization? So I enter my question. I don't, I will need to polish a little bit. And here's my form. I can keep it. Creates the questions. Obviously, I can make it more complicated. The prompt can be more complicated. I can keep this, and in a few seconds, I have my form. But what is also interesting, and that's going to be my last demonstration if we have the time, I'm going to go in the whiteboard, and I want to brainstorm with my HR team on how we can better, uh, you know, onboard a new hire. And let's start to brainstorm on that. I should have launched whiteboard before. It's been a long time I didn't sign it, open it. So let's see. So let's open, and you see there's a Copilot here. So I want to brainstorm on some idea. Brainstorm on how to enhance the onboarding experience for new hires, including HR and IT onboarding. And we'll see what Copilot is going to suggest. Create an online onboarding portal, assign manager to new hires, provide. That's good ideas here. Do I want more ideas? Let's ask for more ideas. So now I have 12 ideas. Let's ask for more. I think it's up 18. So I'm going to now click and have all the ideas. So now we can brainstorm all together. Some people are going to add something in different in the different notes. When I'm finished, now I can say, okay, categorize. So I want to organize this nice brainstorming in different categories. And here I can categorize. Just have to click twice for whatever reason. And there's the onboarding portal, the mentorship, the welcome pack, and the IT checklist. That's very great. Now what I want to do, I want to keep it first. And what I want to do is act on it. So I'm going to summarize this. And it will create a loop component. I think it's really powerful. Summarizing all the brainstorming and putting it in a loop, and also capturing the loop as an image, the whiteboard as an image. As you can see, you have the main themes and onboarding, HR and IT, mentorship, and a capture. Now, if I copy that and I go now in loop, I can take this brainstorm and transform it into action. So now I go in loop, I create a new loop whenever it's ready. Invite members, the members of my team. Here, I'm just not going to create the page. I can find, when I say project planning, I can have things already there. So you have, I don't want to explain what is loop about, but what I can do here at the end, I'm going to just start like it was a blank page. I'm going to pass the loop component here. And now I have my loop component, and I'm going to select this and ask Copilot to do something with that. I'm going to ask Copilot to draft some content. And what I'm going to ask Copilot is create a table with the below themes and sub themes, and with an owner for each sub theme, with a start date and end date, and with the status. Okay, let's do that. And let's see if you can create a table. So from a brainstorming to an action plan. And as you can see, it creates the table. It takes the onboarding, the HR and IT, the mentorship, and the welcome, and divide it in different tasks with owner, start date, end date. Pretty impressive, isn't it? I think that's all. I can spend hours of demonstrating different scenarios in Copilot. I think what people are going to use the most is summarizing email, because that's where they are. Something I didn't show you is summarizing meetings. I think that's very powerful because you can query a meeting just like you're querying a document. But when you have a meeting, you can go back to your meeting and watch the meeting. That's one thing. You can look at the transcript. That's one thing. You can see the summary of the transcript. That's another thing. But what if you could query? This is a 2 hours meeting. Hopefully, it's accessible. Part 2. It's a 2 hours meeting. So I have a general summary. So that's what Teamspeak can provide, but with Copilot it's also available. But with Copilot, you can add way more. You can ask questions about the meaning, and whatever question. And I'm going to show you some examples that the questions, if it's still there, the question I asked already on this 2 hours meeting. If you want to summarize 2 hours meeting to know what happened. So what question can I ask to move the meeting forward? Boom. What were there any call to action for unsolved problems? Here. Were there? We saw that. What were the main problems identified? Can you tell me who was positive? Can even ask questions like this one. Who was in the meeting? How long did they talk? When did they enter and leave the meeting, etc. And you have a table here. So it's really, really, really powerful how you can query meeting. And I'm going to end this long demonstration here. Hope this was insightful.